Hey guys, Chelsea from Attention to Details. I have a fun video in store for you guys today. As you can see, I have my test hood out. We're going to be doing a little bit of side-by-side comparison for some of the more popular one-step polishes or hybrid polishes that may be on the market. This isn't exhaustive, this isn't everything that I have, but a lot of times when customers come to me for polishing paint, I try to stay within a affordable price range for them. One, because it's a daily driver, it's going to get abused in the future. Two, because realistically, I don't want to be super aggressive. I don't think a daily driver, do you essentially need to have paint perfection? What customers are looking for is clean paint. They want refined paint, remove a majority of the swirls and scratches, finish down well. And what products are you going to use that's going to give you the best results the fastest, because time is money. You could use a compound that's super aggressive, cut through the paint, cut through the defects quickly, but there may be marker marring left behind, or maybe kind of a flat dull, or maybe even a haze left behind, or holograms because you were too aggressive. Then you have to do a second step with a polish. And then sometimes even some detailers will go a third step. They'll get a jeweling glaze and really just make the paint pop. And while it is fantastic when you get results like that, sometimes it can be too aggressive on the paint, or it can be too aggressive on the customer's budget, because every step is going to take time. And like I said, time takes money. So majority of times when it comes to prepping for ceramic coatings or just doing paint polishing or paint enhancements for customers, we'll use a one-step polish. And these are majority of the products that I love to use based on the hardness of the paint, the amount of defects, swirls, and scratches. Now you'll notice that I have an orange pad here. These are Lake Country. I've had these for years, honestly. They are older. I wanted something intentionally that's going to allow our polishes to do the heavy lifting versus the pad. I could use a Rupes yellow polishing pad for this video, but that might by itself do a fantastic job of cutting and finishing. The majority of time, if I'm doing a one-step or paint enhancement for a customer, I'm going to use these orange pads from Lake Country simply because they do moderate cut, but they finish down really well. They're not too aggressive of a foam. You can see we've got kind of some give. The stiffer the foam, the more cut you're going to have, but it may not finish down as well. So what we're going to do is I actually want to see how much clear coat some of these polishes may remove if we just do 4 average passes. Now, I'm not going to be super slow. I'm going to move my arm the speed that I would typically use if I'm doing a paint enhancement or prepping for coating. I'm going to do 4 passes with each one. We're going to be able to observe its work time, its dusting. I want to see how aggressive it is on the clear coat, and we'll be able to see how it finishes down at the end, and also our wipe off. So those are the main things that I'm looking for, just because all of those are going to factor in ease of use and my ability to quickly get around. This is our 3D1 side, our Turtle Wax. We've got our Detail Addicts, our Sonax Perfect Finish, and Angel Wax. So we're right around 4 or 5 microns for all of these. You can see we've got some clay pad marring going on the paint, heavy defects and swirls. Like I said, this is soft medium paint. It's kind of that sweet spot that a lot of detailers will want to be at. So this should give us a fantastic test panel to be able to see what kind of correction we could get. So like I said, we're going to do 4 passes with each product, moving our arm at a moderate clip, not super slow. This is going to be for me to be able to kind of gauge how much correction we might be able to get using these products as a one-step to either prep for a ceramic coating or to prep for any other protection that the customer may be wanting. So let's go ahead, kiss out each product, work it into the panel, and then I'll bring you back so we can kind of observe any sort of wipe off, dusting, and our work time. So let's do this. So my goal in doing these tests is not to show you how to get paint perfection and remove every single defect, because like I said, that's not always the healthiest. But what I wanted to show you guys is using these products, even if you're using a mild pad, moderate arm speed, 4 passes, what kind of correction you can get. For those of you that are looking to either do your own daily driver or for customers, want to offer a paint enhancement, be able to do this quickly and affordably for your customers, while at the same time keeping in mind the integrity of the clear coat, these are great options. So again, the goal is not paint perfection, but I just want to show you the possibilities using these products. All right, so you can see we did all 5 of our panels. All of them have a very similar end look. I would say that the Detail Addicts, out of all of them, probably is a little bit on the drier side versus like that oily side, but that may leave for easier wipe off when you come in here. The Angel Wax, this was probably, in my opinion, the dustiest out of all of them, but it was very minimal. You can see even in our kind of perimeters, we have very little dust that was being thrown. The Turtle Wax was a little bit dusty. The 3D one, hardly any dust at all. Detail Addicts, hardly any dust. The Sonex Perfect Finished, no dust whatsoever. I would say out of all of them, in my opinion, when it comes to surface polishing oils, this one looks like it has the most amount of kind of polishing surface oils within it, or lubrication. So it would give you substantial amount of work time, but all of them easily did 4 passes at a moderate clip. When it comes to wipe off, let's take a closer look at what we have going on. The Sonex Perfect Finish, that couldn't be easier. Very, very easy wipe off. You can see the gloss left behind. It's fantastic. So let's go ahead, we'll try our Detail Addicts. Again, very, very easy to wipe off. You don't have any sort of dusting. We have very, very nice gloss. We'll get our correction light on it in a second so we can take a closer look. Our Angel Wax Regenerate. Little grabby, a little smeary, but nothing too difficult, but a little bit grabbier than the others. And again, we've got great gloss left behind. We don't have any sort of marring that I can see from the naked eye. And then we have our Turtle Wax One and Done. You can see we've got a lot of polishing oils left behind. Kind of have to flip it over. Not problematic. I actually found a damp towel was very effective at removing this, because sometimes it could be a little grabby if you worked it too long. That finished down really nice. Out of all of them, I would say that is probably a little bit on the grabbier side, but not a deterrent. Let's say if you compare it to like M105, these are all a dream to work with compared to M105. All right, then we have our 3D one. Similar, the polishing oil kind of residue left behind. You can see we've kind of got smears from our towel. I found with 3D one, sometimes you have to constantly be flipping to a new side or fresh side of your microfiber, or else you're going to kind of have the streaky look to it because there's so much polishing oils to it. Alright guys, we are done with our panel prep. Let's kind of take a closer look at the condition of our paint. Here we have our Turtle Wax One and Done. You can see we did I would say 50% to 75% of the swirls and scratches are gone. We still have a couple of those medium ones in there, but it finished down really well. I didn't work the product as hard on my outer edges, you can see here, because I was trying to be mindful of my tape residue. I didn't want to get up on my tape and then just shoot stuff everywhere, so that's why there's still some of this webbing going on. But in our center areas where we worked it longer and had more passes, we have fantastic finish and clarity. We come in here, here's our before, and then here's our after. I think the customers would be really happy with that end result. Here's our 3D one. Again, we had the most amount of polishing oils that were little bit of a nuisance, but once you get your panel prep in there, I would say we have 50, 75, maybe a little bit more of those swirls and scratches. We still have our deep ridge. Here's our Angel Wax Regenerate. The end result finished down really nicely. I don't feel like we have any sort of ghosting or holograms going on where it was too aggressive. We probably removed 50 to 75%. Again, the swirls and scratches finished down really nicely. If this is our before, and here's our after. And then we have our detail addicts, our hybrid one-step polish. I feel like out of all of the polishes used, this gave me the greatest amount of cut, but it may have been a little too aggressive with this type of paint being soft medium, because I feel like there's just a little bit of ghosting going on. And all that would need is just one more pass, maybe with a white pad at a faster arm speed. Just kind of clip through that. You would remove that ghosting very easily. That's an easy fix. But it did a fantastic job of cutting through those defects. But I would say out of all of them, cut the best, but didn't necessarily finish down quite as well for this type of paint. But that doesn't mean, let's say on hard paint, that it wouldn't finish down really well. I've gotten exceptional results with this product in the past on very hard paint. So it cuts nicely, finishes down really well. When it comes to the winner, I'm surprised. I feel like it's Sonac's perfect finish. I feel like we had the perfect amount of correction and ability to finish down. 3D1, I feel like maybe has a little bit more correction, but didn't necessarily finish down quite as well. I feel like the black on this section is a little bit richer, a little bit clearer. It's hard to pick up on camera. It's even harder to pick up in person. But if we come in here, here's our before. You can see the dull paint, the inability of the light to really show you true reflection to here. So that is a fantastic end result. I feel like any customer would be more than satisfied with any of these products, honestly. At the end of the day, are any of these products, the best or the worst? I'm not going to say that. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But keep in mind, for every vehicle, for almost every panel, you're going to have to find the product, the pad, the arm speed, the DA speed that works best for that panel based on the condition of the paint. And that's what I think I enjoy most about polishing paint, is that you're constantly just having to be on your toes and challenging yourself with every panel that you come across. You could have one vehicle that is so severely swirled and scratched that maybe is that medium paint that you could use 3D1 on it, 3-4 passes, cut through majority of those defects quickly, finish down well. That's fantastic. You could have another panel that is rock hard, that has barely any swirls and scratches on it, and you could use the same exact product, 3D1, 3 passes, and actually have no correction whatsoever. So that's the challenging and the exciting part about paint polishing, that where I honestly encourage you guys, go out to a junkyard, go to a body shop, get a test panel, learn, challenge yourself, get your vehicles, your own vehicles, not customers necessarily, and just practice. Keep in mind, what are your goals when it comes to polishing paint? Is it paint perfection? And if it is paint perfection, why is it paint perfection? Is it because you don't want your name to be on something that maybe there's still swirls and scratches left behind? Or is it because that's what the customer's paying you for? If the customer is paying you for, fantastic, go for it. There are some people that they have vehicles and competitions that they need paint perfection. They need to have, but they also maybe resprays where there's 5 coats of clear coat on and 15 mils of paint, and they have the luxury of wet sanding and compounding and polishing and jeweling and getting that paint perfection that a majority of us desire. But for the average daily driver, to be quite honestly with you, I don't know if that is realistic, and I don't know if it's healthy, because you saw this panel, it's an older panel, but we have around 4 to 5 microns of paint. And that is average for a vehicle. But newer vehicles, they're getting less and less and less. So every time that you polish these vehicles, you're removing, 0.1 to 0.3 microns of clear coat off a vehicle. And maybe you have a stubborn stain and you say, I want to remove that, or not a stain, but a scratch. And you sit and sit and sit and you can, try to get that scratch off the vehicle. Now you've removed a good bit of your clear coat, and with that, your UV protection. and now you've exposed your clear coat to potential oxidation, to potential clear coat failure. So you have to ask yourself, if paint perfection is your goal, why is it your goal? And if it's not, I would honestly say any one of these products that we tested out today would be fantastic. Ultimately, hopefully you guys were able to learn something today. I know I definitely was, but to say that you're going to get the same exact scenario every single time, I wish I could tell you that, but that's the joy of polishing paint. It's constantly learning new techniques, new polishes, new pad combos, getting the results that your customer is going to be happy with, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's not about you. It's about your customer, about their vehicle, and you preserving and enhancing their investment. So thank you guys for watching. If you learned anything, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, feel free to give me a thumbs down. But I do ask you guys, interact some way with a comment or liking the video, because that helps the algorithm within YouTube to just be able to kind of help suggest my videos, my channels for recommended feeds, and that just helps us grow. So any bit of engagement, I appreciate it, whether it be, positive or negative. But hopefully you guys have been able to, take something away from this video. If you have any questions about the products that I used or polishing paint, I'm not exhaustive. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. But by all means, there's other people that follow my channel that have a lot more experience than me. I'm sure they would be willing to engage and answer any questions that maybe I may not be able to. But hopefully this was a fun video. I know it was a fun video for me to do. We're going to go ahead and test out some ceramic coatings now. But thank you guys for watching. I will put the link for all of these products down below, as well as the orange LC pads, the Rupes yellow foam polishing pads, if you want to cut a little bit more, finish down well. I honestly love those Rupes yellow foam polishing pads, as well as the GG6. Fantastic DA that any beginner, I feel like, would be able to just handle anything that comes at them, whether it be, severely swirled paint, finishing down well. Very comfortable, very affordable, lifetime warranty. So fantastic polisher for anyone looking for an entry-level polisher, or even for the pro. So we're going to get a move on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And we will see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys.